So in this second chapter, Krishna is addressing the concerns of Arjuna. Arjuna had 5 concerns. So all those concerns are being addressed in this second chapter by Krishna. So Arjuna was concerned about the bodies of Dronacharya and Bhishma and all the other opponents. So Krishna spoke about Atma Gnana, clearing the confusion of Arjuna, the biggest confusion Arjuna had, thinking the bodies to be souls, and Krishna gave the Atma Gnana, knowledge about the soul. And he also addressed the second concern of Arjuna. The second concern of Arjuna was no enjoyment in victory, no benefit in the fighting the battle. Krishna addresses that, saying there is enjoyment if you fight this battle. You will, if you win the battle, you'll enjoy the kingdom. If you lose the battle, you're gonna go to heaven. So there is no loss. There is nothing to worry. And the other concern Arjuna had about sin, I'll get sin if I fight. And Krishna says, if you don't fight, you'll get the sin. If you don't do your prescribed duty, you'll get the sin. But doing your prescribed duty, there is no sin. And the fourth concern was the fourth concern of Arjuna was sinful reaction and karma. I'll get bad karma. So Krishna is saying, prescribed duty will give you the good karma. It's not a bad karma. But I'll tell you a way you don't even get good karma. That is, work like a karma yogi. When you work like a karma yogi, there is no karmic reaction either. So there is nothing to worry about. So we'll see the Karma Yoga section. Krishna is elevating the consciousness of Arjuna from Sakama Karma to Karma Yoga. Right? So let me share my screen. So 31 to 37, Krishna talked about Sakama Karma. So basically doing the prescribed duty with expectation of a result, that is heaven or hell. So we analyzed thoroughly about that. So one has to do their prescribed duty no matter what. If we don't do, then that will get sin in our life too. And 38 to 53, Krishna talks about Karma Yoga. And we covered a set of verses, and we'll go from 41. So before that, I'll give a quick glimpse, like since Krishna was navigating from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. So it's good for us to see this yoga ladder. So this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita in a nutshell, right? So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita spoke about various subject matters, Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti, Kala, Karma, and also different yogic paths one can go through to attain liberation, self-realization, or Paramatma realization, or attain the Supreme Lord. So if you see the roadmap, like if you're going on a trail, right? If you're going on a hiking, if you look at the map of the hiking, so there are different routes. Those routes lead to the destination. One could take the smallest route, 1 mile to reach the destination. One could take the longest route to reach the destination, right? So similarly in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna has given various routes for various kinds of people. Certain things are not applicable in this generation, at least. Certain things are clearly applicable, which can be easily taken into practice and apply and perfect ourselves. So we can see everything in this slide here. So I'll start from the level 0, try to quickly finish it because this itself is a 1-hour topic, but I'll try to quickly finish. Let me start here. So if you see the bottom of the slide, that is the animalistic life, that is a level 0. So for one who is not following any rules and regulations, not following any scriptures, a simple example for the animals, like the animals, these 4 things are common: eating, sleeping, mating, defending, right? For them, the message of Bhagavad Gita is not applicable. The Vedas are not applicable to them, right? So there is unregulated sense gratification. They can do whatever they want. They can eat whatever they want. They can sleep whatever they want. They have their own dharma. They live to their own dharma, but there are no rules and regulations set for them. There are no standards set for them. for self-improvement. Okay, so those standards are set in the that is why, like, for one who is living a life of only eating, sleeping, mating, defending, for a person to elevate from that life to the next life, right, next step, this karma kanda is given. I repeat, for someone who is not following anything, is just living a life of eating, sleeping, mating, defending, for that person, this karma kanda section is given, so that he can learn, understand, who am I? And there are various rituals are being mentioned here in the karma kanda section, right? Like one has to do certain duties, nitya karma, naimittika karma, kamya karma, and various duties are being described. Main point here is like one works with a expectation of a result, right? I'm doing this job because I get money. That is karma kanda section. And if one wants to elevate, if one has a problem, if I have a problem going through, so when I can approach a pujari, I can do some puja and I can solve my problem. Right? So likewise, so there are so many details are being given in the karma kanda section of the Vedas. Right? So Krishna is saying, elevate from karma kanda to karma yoga, right? That is nishkama karma, without expecting anything in return. One has to work like a karma yogi. So we can see this transition in this set of verses now today. But in short, what is karma yoga? Karma yoga is one has to work for the pleasure of the Lord, as a service to the Lord, without expecting anything in return. Offer the success or failure to the Lord, and do not get attached to the work itself. Just move on with the work, have a goal to attain the Supreme Lord. So that way, once consciousness get purified, all the negativity is gone. Purification of mind happens. So after that, one can take to the Gnana Yoga stage, where one can differentiate, discriminate. I'm not this body, I'm different from body, I'm different from Prakriti. It's a mental analysis one has to do in the Gnana Yoga stage. That requires renunciation. One has to go to jungle. There is another stage, Dhyana Yoga stage. One has to practice meditation, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, up to samadhi. There is various limbs of Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. So one can meditate in a way to attain Paramatma realization. Like one can see the Paramatma, Supreme Lord, in their heart. Right. So after saying this, Krishna talks about this in the 6th chapter, 47 sloka, and he says, now I spoke about all these yogas, but these are difficult, Arjuna. Yoginam api sarvesham madghater antaratmanah shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamomataha. Of all the yogi paths, the bhakti yoga is superior and easy and simple to practice for you. In that age, in the Dwapara Yuga, he was saying to Krishna, Arjuna, that is easy to practice. So what to speak about this age, right? In Kali Yuga, so the process of Bhakti Yoga is easier for everyone to practice. So one start with the Karma Yoga, purification of mind happens, and one take up the Bhakti Yoga, process of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means meditation on the Supreme Lord. It's not, Bhakti Yoga is not like going to temple and doing a puja, archana. No, that's not Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means like meditating on the form of the Lord with various steps we'll go through. We'll talk about that in later chapters. Just to meditate upon the Supreme Lord with love and devotion, in short. Right? Krishna talks about that in half of the chapter, 7 to 12 chapters, chapter 7 to chapter 12. So Krishna is slowly taking Arjuna from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga and Gnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And says Bhakti Yoga is your path. And in the second half of the Bhagavad Gita, it talks about everything about Bhakti Yoga, what is Bhakti Yoga, whom the Bhakti has to be performed, why the Bhakti has to be performed, how can one elevate in the process of Bhakti Yoga, are all being described. So since this transition is happening from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga, so that's what I thought, like, to bring this up. so that we'll know when you see our roadmap, when you see our pathway or trail way, where are we headed. So it will be clear when we are going through the verses of Bhagavad Gita. So before I move on, any questions here? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, like Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga, it's like there's a lot of intersection between the two, Prabhu.
Yeah. So Jnana Yoga is a mental analysis. One has to mentally do. It's not a meditation, but one has to mentally, I'm not this body, I'm soul, I'm different from Prakriti, I'm different from elements. One has to mentally speculate and do with the proper knowledge. And Krishna says that is so hard. God, Krishna himself says that is hard. Dhyana Yoga is meditation, like pranayama, breathing exercise, and all those things. But the goal is, the Jnana Yoga goal is self-realization. You want to see the Atma or visualize the Atma, what Atma is about. Dhyana Yoga is a meditation process. One tries to meditate to realize the Atma and also Paramatma. So Ashtanga Yoga process, one to realize the Paramatma in the heart, super soul in the heart. Then goes to, when knows, that time he knows, yes, there is a God, there is a super soul, at whom I need to meditate upon, to whom I need to meditate upon. That's where at the end of the Dhyana Yoga stage, at the end of the perfection of Ashtanga Yoga stage, one knows the God and tries to do meditate on the God. But this process itself is so hard, so strenuous, right? Many yogis attempted this thousands of years, and but here, like at the previous ages, the lifespan was so long, but lifespan is in this age is very less. So it's it's not quite recommended. So that's why our Acharya says, like, take up the Bhakti Yoga. As Krishna also said, easy process.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. If you have any questions, we can put it on the chat. You can see towards the end of the session. Okay, so we looked at text 41 in our previous session about Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. One has to have a resolute, one has to be resolute in the purpose. So the purpose here, we looked at this as well. So just like Arjuna was resolute in purpose. He wanted to attain, he wanted to be a best archer, right? So he was resolute in the purpose. His goal was one, his aim was one, he was practicing, he was able to attain. Similarly, for an athlete who wants to attain gold medal, he has to be, he has a goal, he wants to attain the gold medal, and he's determined. He has to have a mentor, and he has to practice with perseverance, and he has to follow a good diet, so that way he can attain perfection. So similarly, in the path of that's what Krishna is saying in this verse. One has to be resolute in the purpose. The purpose is to attain liberation by the process of karma yoga, gnana yoga, bhakti yoga. So when one is resolute in the purpose, then one practices and attains perfection. If one is not resolute in purpose, then he'll do multiple things. He'll not attain perfection or anything. So strong faith, the faith that Supreme Lord will elevate one to the highest perfection of life, is Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Okay. This is a verse for today. We'll start text 42 and 43. Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadhanti avipashchitam vedavadartha parda nanyat asthitivadinaha kamatmanaha swargapara janma karma phala pradham kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. Translation. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommended various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So Krishna, in this verse, talking about Vedas. Krishna is saying unintelligent followers of the Vedas. Who has given the Vedas? Krishna himself, the God himself given the Vedas. Krishna says in 15:15, Vedescha sarve ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videha chaham. I am the one who has given the Vedas. I'm the follower, I'm the compiler of the Vedas, I'm the knower of the Vedas. I'm the one who has given these Vedas. Then why Krishna is saying, do not follow the Vedas here? What does it mean? Maybe it's a question anyone wants to answer. Like what Krishna meant here, what Krishna is trying to say, not to follow the Vedas.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hmm.
So in the Vedas, so what I understand is that there are like sacrifices recommended to attain certain things, material things, and also do some yajnas and all. You can become like Indra and get the favor of the demigods. Those kind of things. If we do that, then we'll be we'll not be in the path of bhakti, and we again fall into materialistic life,
Yeah.
which will not do us any good.
Yeah, very nice. So there are different sections of the Vedas. We'll see that. So Krishna is clearly talking about the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. So Vedas has Karma Kanda section, Gnana Kanda section, and Upasana Kanda section. So Krishna is talking about the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. What is that? We'll see in upcoming slides. But before that, Krishna here addressing the other concern of Arjuna, the fourth concern of Arjuna. Arjuna concerned that the family will be destroyed and there will be no elderly person who can guide the people to follow certain rituals, family rituals. Krishna is saying, understand what that family rituals are about. What is the purpose of those rituals? Okay, that's why Krishna is speaking this verse. So Vedic knowledge is like a university, big university. It accommodates all kinds of people. The knowledge of Vedas has, if you can see in this picture, it's so huge, right? So it talks about the Sanskrit grammar, from Sanskrit grammar to a person who, if he has some problems in the life, certain things he can do to clear those problems. Astrology is there, astrology and various things are being prescribed, and about also to attain knowledge about who we are and purpose of life, and various things are being mentioned. It's a big, huge department, right? Huge Vedic knowledge. So Vedas are divided into 4 sections: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda, right? And I'm not going to go in detail of this one, but there's one section of the Vedas primarily deals with the self-realization, the topic of self-realization, right? So Krishna extracted the essence of these Upanishads and given a Bhagavad Gita in a simple and easy way for us to understand. So our Vedic literatures, these are all coming from the Vedas only, or Shilpa Shastra, arts and crafts, architecture, Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, music, arts, everything. These are all from our Vedic scriptures only. So Vedas primarily deal with 3 departments: Karma Kanda, Gnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. Karma Kanda section primarily deals with the Dharma or the Kama only. So let's look at what is in the Karma Kanda section. Karma Kanda section is for the people who is not following any rules and regulations, right? Who is living a life of animalistic life. I don't want to say this, but animalistic life, eating, sleeping, mating, defending only, not following any rules and regulations. The Karma Kanda section of the Vedas give the guidelines or code of conduct, how one has to live his life, right? And also talks about solving the problems. If I'm going through a problem, if I don't have a children, then I can do some yajna or puja to some grahas, nakshatras, right? So graha puja and all those pujas. So one can do these pujas to solve those problems. If one doesn't have a good spouse, he can do some puja to attain a good spouse, right? And if one doesn't have or he doesn't have wealth, he's in need of money, then he can go to a pujari and do certain puja and solve his problems. So I'm not talking about the puja which is done in the temples today. So that is not part of Karma Yoga. That is the Bhagavat Aradhana. That is different. Okay. So these are the pujas people still do today also for their own sense gratification, right? For their own purpose. They have a problem, they hire a pujari, they give them money, solve their problems, and done with. Done, right? So these are the pujas which are done to the demigods, right? So like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, and different nakshatras, graha puja, and all those things. Rahu Ketu puja, and all those many things like that. Those are all comes under Karma Kanda section. So Karma Kanda section, like if one wants to go to heaven also, there is a yagna is there, Jyoti Shoma yagna. One can perform that yagna and he can go to heaven. Right? But again, we know heaven is also not a permanent place. He will be kicked out of the heaven. Right? So why this Karma Kanda section is given? Why Krishna has given this Karma Kanda section in first place, right? So for one who is not practicing anything, Sanatana Dharma, so he can take up any of this, at least for their own sense enjoyment, they can take up and practice and not just get stuck there itself. That's what the message of here in this verse, right? So in this verse, Krishna is saying, don't get entangled into these flowery words of the Vedas. Don't get entangled into the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. Understand there are other departments also. You go and look at the other departments. Don't stuck in this department itself. Right? Don't stuck in the kindergarten itself. Go to the higher grades. That's what Krishna is trying to say here. The Karma Kanda section of Vedas primarily deal with dharma, artha, kama. Dharma means one has to dutifully do his duty in a dharmic way and attain the wealth, attain the power, whatever he wants, and also enjoy the desires. Kama means fulfill the desires, whatever the desire they have, money or wealth, money or solve personal problems, enemies, or any problems they can solve, right? So dharma or the kama only. That's what the section of Karma Kanda is. So who gets stuck? One who is Bhoga and Aishwarya Gatin. No? Bhoga means enjoyment, Aishwarya is money. So one who is more into earning more money and enjoying life. So they say there is nothing in this world. Nothing in this world, just enjoy life, right? Krishna is talking about the people who follow the Karma Kanda rules and regulations, and they say they are more attached to this Bhoga and Aishwarya, money and enjoyments, and they say there is nothing more than this, right? That's what this shloka is about, the 48. Krishna is saying, don't get entangled into this. So elevate oneself to the Gnana Kanda and Upasana Kanda. So Gnana, in a further verses and upcoming verses also, Krishna says to elevate. I'll talk about quickly here. Gnana Kanda section mainly deals with understanding who we are, body, Atma, Prakriti, nature, everything, right? So how one can attain self-realization. We have 4 objectives, right? So in office also, we have goals and objectives. In IT company, if you're working, there are goals and objectives. So when we take this birth, we also have a goals and objectives. There are 4 goals and objectives: dharma, artha, kama, moksha, right? So moksha is another objective that can be fulfilled by gaining the knowledge. Knowledge is the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, right? About various subject matters. And there is another section is Upasana Kanda. That section primarily deals with devotion to the Supreme Lord, the process of attaining liberation through the process of devotion, love and devotion to the Supreme Lord, the Bhakti Yoga. Basically, Karma Kanda section, Jnana Kanda section, and Upasana Kanda section. So Krishna in the previous verses, he said one has to have one-pointed intelligence towards any of the path to attain liberation. So what is the obstacle? What is the obstacle which is blocking us from attaining one-pointed intelligence? That is spoken in this verse. Obstacles for one-pointed intelligence. 44. Bhogaishvarya prashaktanam taya prahata chetasam vivasayatmikaha buddhi samahado na vidyate. Translation. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotion service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So what are the obstacles in the path of one-pointed intelligence or towards the process of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga? The obstacle is Bhoga and Aishwarya, Bhoga Aishwarya, sense enjoyment and material opulence. If one is too much inclined towards gaining money, today I have $10,000, I earn $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, too much into earning money, how to accumulate more and more wealth, right? And is too much into enjoyment, enjoyment through eating, enjoyment through various ways, and also going to the places, too much busy in earning money, and also too much busy in enjoying through senses. We all know how much we enjoy. There is a limit to it. And again, like if I'm going to a vacation, if I'm planning a vacation with good money, I'll go to the vacation. With so difficulty, I enjoy the vacation. After coming back, we have to come back. There's no way. We can't live in the vacation forever. So we have to come back. Again, back to the normal. Our happiness was at one point it was good. Again, back to normal, right? So again, we have to work hard. Again, look for happiness. So if our happiness is derived from the external things, right, and try to enjoy that way. So those are the obstacles. Krishna in this verse, he is clearly saying enjoyment through senses. What are the way? Enjoyment through senses and material opulences are obstacles in the path of self-realization. So Krishna is not saying not to enjoy anything or not to attain wealth. Okay, that's not what Krishna is saying. Now one can attain wealth how much ever he can in a dharmic way, right, and enjoy through senses. There is nothing wrong. But if he lives a life only for that purpose, not for the purpose of self-realization, that is what Krishna is saying here. If one lives a life only for this Bhoga and Aishwarya, then he cannot even show interest in anything in the process of self-realization. So quick insight into the verse. Who are weak in their determination to advance in spiritual life, karma kandis, attached to the material benefits of the Vedas and less intelligent. What is a disqualification to resolute determination? That is Bhoga and Aishwarya, continuous enjoyment and trying to gain money, living a life only for this purpose. Then there is no way they can gain knowledge about anything in general or self-realization. So we'll move on. So Krishna talked about the Vedas, the obstacles in the path of self-realization. And here in this work he says, rise above the Vedic Karma Kanda, understand what this Vedic Karma Kanda about, and rise above. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nishtraigунyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandho Nitva Shasva Sattvatho Nirdvandho Nitya Sattvastho Nirogya Atmavan. Translation. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So in this verse, Krishna is saying, understand what is the subject matter of the Vedas. What is the subject matter of Vedas? So we looked at, there is Karma Kanda section, Gnana Kanda section, Upasana Kanda section. So this is for whom? So for the people who are in the three modes, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Basically, it is for us. Most of the time we are in this triguna, or of course, all the time we are in this triguna, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and ignorance. So I'll quickly repeat what is mode of goodness. Mode of goodness is when we are in the peace of mind, our mind is calm, we are able to understand the things clearly, right? So intellectual levels are high, right? So mode of passion is when we are fully distressful, our mind is fully distressed. And we are aggressive, passionate, aggressive to do the things. That's where the mode of passion is. And mode of ignorance is when he is lazy, not do anything, right? So there are three modes. So mostly everyone are in, that is the nature. Prakriti is also in the three modes. We are also in the three modes, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Right? So Krishna is saying, this Vedas, Karma Kanda section of the Vedas is for the person who are or who is in this mode of passion and ignorance, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So these people who are in the mode of passion and ignorance, what they want? Bhogandashvarya. Bhogandashvarya, material wealth and enjoyment. So that's where they go to Karma Kanda section of the Vedas and they solve their problems doing some various pujas, yajnas, homas for self, not for the highest goal, for the purpose of self-realization, but for their own enjoyment. Again, this is not the homas pujas done for the Supreme Lord Vishnu. This is for the demigod worship. So Krishna is here saying, Nishtray Gunyo Bhavarjuna, raise above. Raise above. Okay? Don't get stuck into these karma kanda rituals. Rituals are there for a purpose. Don't get stuck there. Raise above. Raise above to the mode of goodness. When you are in the mode of goodness, you can understand the other sections of the Vedas. That is Gnana Kanda section and Upasana Kanda section of the Vedas, by which we can attain the knowledge about self-realization. And Krishna is further saying, be free from all the dualities, gain or safety, and trying to be established in the self. So I'll give an example why God has to give. First of all, why God has to give this Karma Kanda section of the Vedas. I'll give an example. This will help us to understand better. If a mother has two children, one child is in the mode of goodness. He always eats good food, organic food, healthy food, whatever mother gives, he accepts it and eats it. This other child, he likes to eat junk food. He likes to eat junk food. All the junk food, putrid food, spoiled food outside the home, not inside the home. Then what mother has to do to bring this person who is eating all the time, all the junk food outside the home? Mother just has to cook the same junk food in the home. The problem is solved. When mother cooks the same junk food, this child will try to eat the same junk food within the home. By such way, even though he is eating the junk food in the home, that's not what mother wants. Mother wants him to eat a healthy food, but this is step one. Mother elevating the consciousness of this child from eating the junk food outside to inside the home. Arey bhaiya, you just eat the junk food inside the home only. Don't go anywhere out. Right? So when one eats that when the child try to learn and eats the junk food in such a way, he'll slowly understand. He will slowly understand what mother's love is, what mother love is, no? And he tries to eventually, by such way, he tries to eventually listen to his mother and eats the healthy food, right? So progress himself from eating the junk food outside to the eating junk food inside, or eating the healthy food, that is the step, level 1, level 2, level 3, right? So that's what Krishna has, that's why Krishna has given these Vedic literatures, at least the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, for a people who are not even following any rules and regulations, who are living a adharmic life, living like a animals only, like eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and all the adharmic, not even following the code of conduct of a human, right? So for them, for those people, this Karma Kanda section of Vedas are given so that at least he'll take up these steps, at least she'll take up these things, right? And elevate his consciousness from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. So I will move on to the next verse. Verse 46, the purpose of the Vedas. Yavan ardha udhapane sarvataha samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. Translation: all purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purpose of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. So Krishna, in these words, giving the analogy here, analogy of a wells and a reservoir, water reservoir, a lake, a river, right? So if you go to village, the village has a different wells. So in well one get to drink. In the well one, there'll be good water. The water can be consumed. In a different well, that water is not good for consumption, but that can be used for washing clothes. Right? In other well, that water may be not even good for consumption, not even good for washing clothes, that can be used to wash animals. Right? So different purposes, different water serving different purposes, and in limited quantities, right? But if I go to a water reservoir, a lake, a river, Ganges water is so pure, that water can be used for multiple purposes because the water is pure. Simple example, in this country, in the US, this water we get is a pure water. So we use the same water for many things. We use the same water, tap water, for drinking. We use the same tap water for taking bath or washing clothes through laundry, because the water is so pure. Or the pure water is given to us, at least. Right? So that is the thing Krishna is saying, is giving this analogy for us to understand the purpose of Vedas. There are different sections of the Vedas, Karma Kanda sections of the Vedas. Everything can be served, everything can be fulfilled. I'm going to the Vedas to solve my problem. I'm going to the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas to solve one problem. I'm going to other section of the Vedas to solve other problem. I'm going to other section of Vedas to solve the third problem. Basically, Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, I'm going to different places, different gods, God 1, God 2, God 3, to solve different problems. Krishna is saying here, all the purposes can be fulfilled when one knows the purpose of Vedas. What is the purpose of Vedas? What is the purpose of this knowledge? What is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? To know the Supreme Lord. Vedisha sarvai ahameva vedyo. Gita 15:15, Krishna says, of all the Vedas, I am to be known. It's like if I'm studying Ramayana, what is the purpose of studying Ramayana? To know who Lord Ram is, and attain devotion towards the Lord Ram. Right? So Krishna, the purpose of knowing the Vedic knowledge is to know the Supreme Lord himself, Krishna. When one knows the Supreme Lord, knows the purpose of Vedas, there is no need, that's the point here. Krishna is saying there is no need for you, Arjuna, to go into these different karmakandic rituals. You don't need to perform different karmakandic rituals for your sense enjoyment. Aim for highest goal. Aim for the highest goal, that is self-realization. That is by doing bhakti towards me, devotion towards me. It's like watering the root, right? If you are watering the root, if I'm taking the water, right? If I need to nourish the tree, there are different ways. I can pour the water to the leaves, I can pour the water to the branches, or I can pour the water to the root itself. When I pour the water to the root, entire tree is nourished. Entire tree is nourished. I don't have to water different branches, leaves separately. So that's what Krishna is saying. Understand the purpose of Vedas, to know me, know Krishna. When you know Krishna, when you develop bhakti towards Krishna, you don't have to do all these karmakandic rituals for your own enjoyment. Whatever you want to attain, self-realization, can be given by me alone. Okay, I know you have questions, so you can keep it to yourself. Towards the end, we can discuss, and you can put it in the chat room also. So, quick insight into these verses. Krishna here is saying, leave the karmakandic rituals. Don't worry about those karmakandic rituals. Know the purpose of those. Those are given for the purpose to gradually elevate, understand the Supreme Lord, and work towards the liberation. Don't get yourself stuck into the small enjoyments you get from these karmakandic rituals. Okay. Okay, I'll quickly move on. So this is very, very important verse of Bhagavad Gita. This is a very, very important verse of Bhagavad Gita. You can see this shloka on calendars. You know, people distribute calendars of Bhagavad Gita, or many places, pamphlets or stickers anywhere. So this is a verse many people quote. We'll go into this verse. It's a very important verse. This is where Krishna is saying, work like a karma yogi. How to work like a karma yogi. So we'll thoroughly analyze this verse. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachanaha ma karma phala heturbur ma te sangostu akarmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you're not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So Krishna is saying 4 things here, 4 points. The first point is karmanyevadhikaraste. You have the right to perform your duty. You have the right to perform your duty. Ma phaleshu kadachanaha. You're not entitled to the results of action. Never consider yourself the what is it? Ma karma phala heturbhur. Never considers yourself the cause of the results of your activities. Ma te sangostu akarmani. Never be attached to not doing your duty. Krishna is talking about 4 things here. Okay. So Krishna is saying let's analyze one by one. First one, you have the right to perform your duty. Yes, Krishna, I understand. Okay. If I don't perform my prescribed duty, what are the duty? Going to the job or going to office or any prescribed duties. If I don't perform, I'll get sin. That's why I perform this duty. That's what Krishna is saying. You have the right to perform your duty. Yes. You don't have the right. You're not entitled to expect the results of your action. What does it mean? If I work, I work for a purpose, I work for a goal. Why Krishna is saying, do not expect anything in return. So let's understand with this analogy. If a student is studying for examination, so what is his duty? He has the right to perform his duty. He has to study well in the examination, right? And if he is not supposed to expect the return, like if he is studying for examination, if he is too much worried about the success or failure, I'm studying now, I don't know whether I'll pass this examination or fail this examination. If I'm too much stressed out on or thinking about the success or failure, I will always be stressed out. There is so much stress. I cannot focus on the work itself. I cannot focus on the action itself, right? So that's the reason Krishna is saying, you have a goal, you have a purpose, you have a goal, set a goal. Don't think too much about that goal. Let the result come naturally. Don't be result oriented, be work oriented. If you think too much about the result, you cannot focus on the work. Simple example, if I'm playing cricket, ball is coming to me. At that time, if I'm thinking, this ball, will I get bowled? Or will I hit a six? If I'm thinking about success and failure of hitting the ball, then I cannot focus on the ball itself, right? So what my duty at that point is, hit the ball, strike the ball, let ball go wherever it has to go. Right? But do the work in a skillful way and leave the result to the Supreme Lord. Whether we get bored, whether it's a failure or success, doesn't matter. That's what Krishna is saying here. And the third point, if I'm studying for examination, we'll take that analogy again. Never consider yourself the cause of your result. Because I'm studying for examination, I'm studying well, and now I'm not expecting anything written. I'm 100% focused on the studies itself, right? And the success or failure, Krishna is saying, don't consider yourself the cause of success or failure. It's very clear. We know I'm studying, I'm the cause, but there are different causes also effect for the result. Krishna talks about it later, but to keep it short, we don't know, right? We put our efforts, we leave the result to the God, and let God take care, right? If I think I'm the cause of my success or failure, when the success comes, then I'll be egoistic. If I feel I'm the cause of my failure, then I'll go in depression, right? That's why Krishna is saying, don't think you're the cause of anything. Be neutral. Do your duty. Do your prescribed duty. Do not expect anything in return, and be neutral to success or failure. And last point, Krishna is saying, now that you know you're not the cause, don't again consider not doing the duty. It's like, I'm not the cause, then why should I study? Why should I study? Krishna is saying, don't even think that. You have to do that because that is your duty. So we'll try to analyze this verse in detail. So how to work like a karma yogi. Okay. So we'll bring God in picture now. We'll bring God in picture. So things becomes a lot simplified, a lot easy to understand, and a lot easy to practice. Okay. So same student. I'm a student studying for examination. Now I'll bring God in picture. Okay. It becomes more easy. Let's say you have the right to perform your duty. Okay. Okay, Krishna. So one has to do work, the prescribed duty studying. In this example, I'm studying for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, or this as a service to the Supreme Lord. And I don't expect anything written. Let the result, I'm leaving it to Supreme Lord. Let God give whatever he has to give, right? But I still put my 100% efforts because I'm working for the Lord, not working for myself. And I offer the result to the Lord. In case of success, I'll not become egoistic. In case of failure, I'll not become depressed because I consider now that I'm offering the result to the Lord, I consider it's because of Lord mercy. It's Lord desire. I put my 100% because of karma or whatever the reasons I got this thing, right? The success, okay, Krishna, because of you, I attained this success. If it's a failure, Krishna is because of you, I got this failure, right? So that way one can become neutral, bringing God in our life, right? And we still perform our duty. So this is a 3-step formula. You can see in the picture here, Sakama Karma Yoga. What is Sakama Karma Yoga? See, this person is planting a plant, right? And watering the plant, and he has a desire. His desire is myself and my family will eat the fruits. He has an inner motive. That's why he's doing this work. That's called Sakama Karma. Nishkama Karma, he's doing for the pleasure of the God. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'm doing this for your pleasure. That's it. That way, he's not attached. He's not too much worried about success, failure, what happens to it while doing the work, right? Okay, how to work like a karma yogi. So Krishna talks about this in various chapters of Bhagavad Gita, but the formula is just 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, step 1, one has to work for the pleasure of the Lord as a service to the Lord, and offer the result. Success or failure, offer the result to the Supreme Lord and be neutral. And do not get attached to the work. This is the 3rd formula. Do not get attached to the work itself. I'll take this example now. I'm an employee working for an organization. That is my duty, prescribed duty I'm doing. If I don't do my prescribed duty, that is sin. Okay, we cross that section. Now I'm talking about doing my prescribed duty. I'm doing my prescribed duty as an employee. I'm doing this duty. I'll do it for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, as a service to the Supreme Lord. When I work in such way, if there is a success in my project, I offer the result to the Lord. God, it is because of you I attain this success. It's a failure. Even though I put 100%, even it is a failure, I think, God, maybe you have a plan for me. Maybe because of my bad karma it's going in my life. That's fine. I still offer this to you, right? And 3rd point, do not get attached to the work. In case of success, if I get attached, then I'll become egoistic and problematic, right? And do not get attached means do not get attached to the same work. Like if I'm in my employer, I'm a manager. Krishna is saying, don't think like your life will be manager forever, right? You have to change the role. Set a higher role, higher goal in your life. Don't get attached to the same work, doing same thing again and again. Elevate your consciousness. If I say I'll be manager forever, then I cannot progress further, right? So work for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, offer the result to the Supreme Lord, and do not get attached to the work itself. Do the work as a offering to the Lord, a seva to the Supreme Lord. So that way, when one works, when we shift our consciousness, that's what Karma Yoga is all about. From I and mind towards the Lord, I'll be happy, my family will be happy. Yeah, that is still good. Okay, there's nothing wrong in it, but we are doing for a higher purpose, bringing God in picture, working for the pleasure of the Lord, offering the result to the Lord, not getting too much attached to the work itself. That way, we'll stay neutral, despite happiness, distress. When one works in such way, his consciousness is getting purified, his mind is getting purified. He's slowly connecting towards the Supreme Lord. So we'll see that in this section. What are the benefits of working like a Karma Yogi? Why should I do this? Right? Purification of mind and consciousness. So we'll be free from negative emotions. The negative emotions are anxiety, stress, depression, pride, lust, greed, anger, envy, jealous, from success or failure from ourselves or others, right? I'll take this example now. I'm doing a project work. I can do for my own self, for my own benefit. Then I'll be too much in anxiety, whether it will work it out or not. Right? What will happen? Now, as a karma yogi, I'm doing the same work, but as a service to the Supreme Lord with a higher motive. Right? Then I put my 100% efforts because I'm doing for the Supreme Lord. So just like Bharata in Ramayana, Rama accepted the kingdom, but he still gave back to Bharata, saying, Bharata, you rule the kingdom as a service to me. Then Bharata took that kingdom and ruled very thoroughly as a service to the Supreme Lord. Right? So that's what he's saying. Krishna is saying here. Do whatever the duty as a service to me, as an offering to me. Then you'll not be too much anxiety. Depend on the Lord. Don't be too much stressed out of the result. Right? So that way we'll be anxiety free, stress free, depression free. If there is a success, it is because I think it's because of not my own strength, not my own talent. Here, because of, I'm thinking it's because of the mercy of the Supreme Lord, I attained this. So when we bring God in our picture, it becomes a lot simplified. So that way I will not be proud of any of my achievements. And greed, if there is a success is coming very nicely, right? If I'm enjoying the success for my own pleasure, I want that again and again, again and again. If someone is appreciating me, I want that appreciation again and again, again and again. Do it nicely, do it. Right? So here a karma yogi, when the appreciation comes, he offered that to the Supreme Lord. God, it is because of you I'm getting this appreciation. I'm offering it to you. So that way he's not greedy for any mundane appreciations or anything. He just offers to the Supreme Lord and he stays neutral. And envy also, if someone is successful, someone is doing better in their role, right? Sometimes we get envy. We think, why God is giving everything to him, why not me? Right? So 1 second, someone joined from Wisconsin. Okay. So envy also, if someone is envious, as long as I'm thinking everything happening because of my talent, then I'll become envious. Why God is given to him? No, but a karma yogi, a surrendered soul, he thinks like it is happening because of maybe it's good karma. So that way I stay neutral. I don't worry about anything, right? Success or failure. So that's where chitta shuddhi happens. When one works like a karma yogi, mind is purified, his consciousness is getting purified, bringing God in picture. So that way our sins are getting burnt. I know this is hard, but it requires a practice. so the practice, when you slowly practice with 3 motives, right? This is a thing, 3 things: work for the pleasure of the Lord, offer the result to the Lord, not to get attached to the work itself. 3 things when you practice, it's easy. It takes time, but it's easy. It's just a shift of consciousness from I and mind towards the Lord. So these actions, when we do, these are sin-free. The actions, the karma, does not produce any new karma. That's why it is sin-free. No reaction to that action. And by doing so, in this way, with these 3 methods, right? So I'm getting closer to the God. I'm trying to attach myself towards the Lord, right? And slowly detach myself to the material things. So by doing that way, one can advance easily in the path of bhakti yoga. So that's what bhakti yoga. Krishna is driving Arjuna from karma kanda to karma yoga to bhakti yoga. So one can elevate oneself into this path when one works in this way with 3 things in mind. Okay, so I'll stop here. So today we looked at the Vedas, what is the subject matter of the Vedas? Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Upasana Kanda. And Krishna is trying to elevate the consciousness of Arjuna. He's saying, don't get stuck in the Karma Kanda sections of the Vedas. So that is for the people who are attached to this Bhoga and Aishwarya, material enjoyments and accumulating wealth. Elevate your consciousness. Nishtray Gunya Bhava Arjuna. Come to the mode of goodness. Understand the purpose of the life. Know Bhagavad Gita, in short. Come to the Jnana Kanda and Upasana Kanda of the section and work like a Karma Yogi. By this way, you can attain me. Okay, I'll stop here. If you have any questions, we can take now.